The question I've been toying around with lately is it a basket of deplorables or a basket of disposables? The cabinet, that is. Is it a cabinet of deplorables or a basket of disposables? See, every pick so far has been somewhat previously disgraced. Okay, like maybe minus a couple outliers here and there that really they could be. I just don't know that much about them. But for all I know, they're decent people. But you've got, first of all, an active duty general who basically opposes a deal with Iran. And he's 3 years out of retirement. The whole reason we have the 7 years clause, and I don't think it's enough, is because you're not supposed to have somebody in the civilian executive branch, especially overseeing the Defense Department as a civilian, who is still so connected with the current military apparatus that they could easily, um, you know, oversee a coup. I mean, we have these rules to protect against these things. It's not, implying anything nefarious. It's just that that's why we have these standards and norms, these precedents. Um, like probably the precedents that Bernie Sanders was talking about in that video that I just noticed was blocked from my subscription list, even though I am, obviously subscribed to that channel, MSNBC channel, which I think I forgot to, double verify again. Well, I didn't forget previously, but I verified before, like put the camera up and showed subscribed. But yeah. Anyways, so you got Flynn and possibly still, or has he been named? Petraeus. And you got this Deputy National Security Advisor, all of which have basically, like between leaking classified information and just being embarrassed in different ways. Is it a cabinet of deplorables? Or are these people who were like meant to fail? Like if Obama said, you have to sell off Trump. I mean, you can't have a business called Trump and be a president called Trump at the same time. Like if Obama got real with him about how the electors are supposed to vote according to the Constitution, and just said, go up in your tower and play The Apprentice for a while we, settle this all out. and if Trump made the decision, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be president. Let's play this fucking show out. Like I'm on this theory, and I'm not saying I fully believe in this theory. Okay, I'm just kind of playing it out. All right. Trump would have made the decision. Okay, maybe he would have said, "I'll get back to you," but made the decision. No, I don't want to sell off all my assets. Let's play out this drama and have the electoral college vote in Hillary. Because after all, he likes Hillary. She's a nice woman, right? Dingo, did all the fleas in the world jump on you at once? What's up, man? You're running back and forth tonight. Uh, so, you got Mitch McConnell's wife going to be the transportation secretary. I think, and like, you know, I admit that's the Houston fucking white guy in me thinking that that's funny. But, you know, like the Chinese lady in charge of driving, that had to occur to Donald Trump. Okay, that had to, like, seriously. A guy who thinks in terms of racial humor all the time. If it occurred to me, I mean, he made a Chinese lady transportation secretary. That's hilarious. Uh, yeah. Like like seeing Becky. Not going to get any more clear about that Louis C.K. reference. Anyway, so let's see who else we got. We got the the anti-Obamacare Health and Human Services guy. Does it look like, I don't know, like Mitch McConnell took off the dress and put on some glasses really quick and was trying to, like, I don't know, like he's got a weird look about him, doesn't he? He kind of looks not. He doesn't quite look hey there. He looks more like hey little boy. Like I'm just saying he's got kind of a weird look to him. I mean, uh, voice of the accuser. Democrats, let's see what a Democrat has gotten caught with, you know, a texting a teenage girl or whatever. Meanwhile, Republicans get busted for, like, sexually assaulting little boys and shit all the time. You know, every few fucking years, it's another. If it's not that, it's like, you know, being gay in an airport or something. Like, what the fuck? People always, you know, enraging against homosexuality. Like they're trying to hide something. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, and this guy just kind of looks. He's. That don't look like how a man should carry himself. Like a man with respect for himself, with integrity, who's not just trying to satisfy his, I don't know, addiction or something. Anyway. But he got it in for Obamacare. And I believe he's the one who thinks that if you're going to have a mandate, it needs to be a $10,000 per year penalty. So if you don't get health insurance, if this guy has his way, um, it's not going to be the $750 or $900 um, deduction from your tax credit. You're going to wind up owing several $1,000s. I guess we'll pay that. I guess we're supposed to pay that in taxes. But it's, yeah, that's what him and Trump talked about, was a $10,000 fine or whatever, to make Obamacare work, basically. That's nice. especially for people who can't fucking afford insurance. You know, if you can't afford insurance, oh yeah, sure, you can afford 10 grand, right? Oh, but medical savings accounts are, you know, completely useless for poor people. You know, medical savings accounts are designed to do? Drive up the cost of healthcare for everybody. That's all they're designed to do. It's going to make it, they're designed to let rich people get away without having health insurance so that people who don't, so people in the middle class who don't have enough money for those savings accounts winds up having to pay more for their health insurance because the rich people aren't paying for their health insurance because they have medical savings accounts. It's all bullshit and it's bad for you. So who else do we have? Mitt Romney. You think Mitt Romney is going to be Secretary of State? I don't think Mitt Romney is going to be Secretary of State. I think the satanic, I really think Trump is a Satanist. Okay, but I think the satanic part of him that takes delight in just ownership of other people, just takes delight in people being his bitches, right? I think he literally tricked Mitt Romney into thinking he was going to get Secretary of State. And Mitt Romney thought he was going to get over on Trump by getting that out of him. So he thought he would say whatever he had to. Meanwhile, Trump's just like, Trump just like, nigga, please. I ain't playing that shit with you. I know damn good and well you'd make a better president than me. Homie, don't play that. Seriously, Mitt Romney would make much, 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 much better president. Much better president. Much better president. He got more votes. You know, legitimate votes, informed votes, not hacked votes, votes based on truth, votes that really happened. Combination of these things. But there was another guy. Oh yeah, Secretary of State. There was another a leak of Secretary of State people, and I think I showed briefly the image on the video that I'm uploading right now while I film this. It's a front-facing camera video, so those take forever to upload. These backwards-facing camera ones upload really quickly. Um, but you can see if you subscribe to the channel Social View, they have they regularly post little clips of MSNBC and other, just little juicy news tidbits. And one of the things they posted was Rachel Maddow talking about sources within the Trump campaign saying that there's actually two new possible picks for the Secretary of State position. One of which is a former ExxonMobil CEO, and the other is the current ExxonMobil CEO. And see, in the division of Standard Oil, basically, it's Chevron, Texaco remained mostly the domestic, whereas ExxonMobil really did kind of integrate with Russian oil companies, and they seem to be the more corrupt of the influencers. Let me just put it that way. Um, so yeah, that's nice. And the Mr. Munchkin, Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, not only 15 or 16 years or whatever at Goldman Sachs, not only have did he buy into a investment bank that profited off of the foreclosures that led to the collapse of the financial market. Okay, like he was literally part of the problem. But he's a Hollywood movie investor who seems to invest primarily in what seems to be a running theme throughout his picks on movies to invest in: anti-government propaganda. I mean, some good movies, but all with an overlying tone of establishment being evil and corporations and stuff being evil. Fascinating that he should be in the Treasury with his thick, black rimmed glasses. Now, that guy, not a disposable, I don't think. I wouldn't think. But I don't know. Definitely deplorable. Definitely suspect. Definitely, when combined with all other aspects of this, with combined with the Russian hacking throughout this election, even on election day, possibly, with Petraeus's sharing classified information with his wife, with Michael Flynn sharing classified information with Pakistan, him having private consultations with people within the Russian government, him having private dinner, I mean, him having a public dinner with Vladimir Putin. And this, the second propagandist in the cabinet. We have Bannon, Goebbels in chief, or whatever. Or what the fuck? What is his title? You know, to me, his title is Goebbels. Like that's his title. It's fucking Goebbels. Fuck's sake. He's the propaganda minister. What else is he? He's the advisor to the president. And what does he do for a living? What does he do? He's a fucking right wing propagandist. So what's he's going to advise the president on? On how to use right wing propaganda. Like you know. Now he's going to get paid for the shit. By the way, you know you're going to pay him to brainwash you. Now, isn't that lovely? Anybody I'm leaving out? Or is that a wrap? I think it's a wrap. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.